Shalom. Kohala Yahweh Bashimi Hawashah Bashimi Kokodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers up pushing the word, the truth, and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yeshua. I'm back with the World War III Daily Update. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do what we normally do. We're going to go to Matthew 24 and 6. And everybody knows this. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, but what we do here at this channel, we go to a couple of different versions and get some alternate words, okay? So Matthew 24 and 6 in the NIV. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. And right here, NLT, wars and threats. I got more bombs than you. I got a Satan. I got a trident. Okay, threats. I'm coming to get you. I'll wipe you out with 4 nukes. All right? Rumors. Rumors. Aramaic Bible and plain English. It is going to happen that you are going to hear battles and reports of wars. Reports. Threats. Good news. You're going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news. News reports. News reports. Rumors. Threats. We got all of those things, not just rumors. So let's get some news reports, or reports and news. Got old Skeletor over here, all right, or Skullator, that big skull. All right, and this is Full Spectrum Survival. Yesterday or today, I'm not sure. Today's the 22nd. There will be hell to pay. Russia has been warned. Attack allies and go to war. Nuke codes. What? Nuke codes out. So what's going on? All right. How is a rainbow means it's a covenant between God, saying that I will not destroy the world with water again, but fire is fair game. What kind of fire? Nuclear fire. Are we dealing with what is in the headlines? Skeletor is going to say it. I don't know. We're not going to listen to 29 minutes, but let's listen. He's on a roll. One thing after another. Only bad thing about Skeletor is he loves commercials because he's trying to get paid. So.
All right, everybody, we have a very real possibility of a nuclear false flag event to take place in the next couple of months.
A what kind of false flag? Nuclear.
All right, everybody, we have a very real possibility of a nuclear false flag event to take place in the next couple of months. This comes after a Russian colonel and a previous nuclear code holder was found dead in his home in just the last couple of days. Now, he wasn't a current nuclear code holder, but he was one that was holding them previously, and it is under suspicion right now that he was attacked and assassinated by possibly the United States of America or one of NATO and the United States allies for what he knows.
So, Russia's playing American football. And America is playing Russian soccer, if you will. Why do I say that? Because the nuclear football, right? Who's got it? Who's got the nuclear football right now? Does America have the Russian nuclear football?
There's a chance here that because of what is happening with Israel and Iran, because of what is happening with the Satan II missile systems and Russia, and because what is going on between NATO and the United States of America against Russia and China, we will see some sort of nuclear event, and there's going to be a blame game when that happens. We also see some very important things happening in the United States of America, the most poignant being the Federal Reserve saying that, listen to this, it is striking that people really hate inflation. These are the people that we allow to control monetary policy. These are the people who right now are making it so that you're paying 30% more at the grocery store. Your electricity bill is going up. Your gas is $5 to $10 a gallon. Your cost of living has gone up exceedingly beyond your ability to pay it and be comfortable.
And all these domestic things have to do with World War III. Don't get it twisted.
Saying that it is really striking that people hate inflation. Why wouldn't these dumb servants want to pay us more? The US is saying that NATO's commitment to Lithuania is ironclad. This is after Russia threatened to retaliate over the goods banned on Kaliningrad. The Estonian defense minister is warning that if Russia wants to take steps against Lithuania and go to war with Lithuania, it directly attacks the European Union and NATO. The German chancellor says that we stand as Germany firmly with Lithuania and with our allies in Eastern Europe. The secretary of the Russian Defense Security Council, the Russian response to Lithuania will have a very negative impact on the residents of that country. And this coming from the British Foreign Secretary, we support Lithuania to stop the passage of Russian goods subject to these sanctions through its territory. There are warnings right now that Russia is directly preparing to attack Estonia. There are warnings right now that Russia is directly preparing to attack Lithuania. We have some things coming up in this broadcast that discuss what Russia is planning to do against Finland and how Finland is planning to react. According to the White House, this is an official White House release, we don't see a recession right now. We are not in a recession. You see, right before our very eyes, they're changing the definition of a recession and a depression once again. It used to be that it was two quarters of negative growth, and now the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, the White House is saying no.
Babe!
What?
I got a letter from Jeff Bezos!
Slovakia. Skeletor loves commercials. Let me get past this. Slovakia. Okay. Go on, Skeletor.
Oh, no, that's old. We have to look at it a different way. They're doing this because from this point forward, there will be a division between haves and have-nots. And we're going to start to see a lot of sort of prophetic things come into play. And I don't...
Did he say prophetic? All right. Well, this doesn't have to do with World War. It all has to do with World War III. All right? That's why I'm letting him speak.
even mean that religiously. I'm talking economically, historically. When we see things that are hitting the same trends and the same patterns again and again, and we are also going to see some of those things come into play in the next couple of months that make it hard for the individual to work a day's wage just to be able to feed their family. The German minister is saying that Berlin has considered Russia's cutting off of gas supplies as a direct attack against Germany.
See, there's your energy. Your energy has to do with this war that's going on over there. Okay? I'll let this play. And then I'll further prove that all of these things going on, okay, they all have to do with this war. Okay?
According to the U.S. against Iran, video of the U.S. Navy and Iranian forces have a tense encounter in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Navy says that it confronted Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard, their guard in the strait. The Taiwan Defense Ministry says that 29 Chinese Air Force planes entered Taiwan's air defense zone. Estonia, their defense ministry, is saying that Russia is holding right now exercises simulating an attack on Estonia. The defense minister accuses Russia of multiple border violations and incursions by helicopters and the simulation of missile attacks on the country ahead of NATO's summit next week. The concern here is that Russia will move once again, as they did against their main opposition in the conflict zone right now, and that this will bring more countries into this conflict. The German economy minister
More countries as in World War III.
of NATO's summit next week. The concern here is that Russia will move once again as they did against their main opposition in the conflict zone right now, and that this will bring more countries into this conflict. The German economy minister is saying that the Russia recession on the movement of gas is an attack on the country that is going to affect relations across the board.
Same thing with food. Okay. Oh, you're going to withhold your grain, and we're not going to do business. An embargo has to do with the war. All of these things have to do with war. Okay. Now I'll point out the bigger war. Let him talk a little.
The
more.
Kremlin is warning that the famine is
There's the food.
to start now. This is one of the Kremlin's outspoken, I don't want to say propagandists, but definitely a person that is speaking for them. The famine of the world will start now. And then they, the left, the West, the NATO, the United States of America, will lift their sanctions and they will be friends with us.
See that? Food, sanctions, war. It's all intertwined. Even earthquakes.
Because they will realize that it is impossible not to be friends with us. Every World War II and Holocaust memoir that you can go and you can find right before these events happened, you see how people described how ideal their lives were, how everything was perfect. They had enough food, they had enough money, they didn't have a care in the world. Of course, people still had things happening to them, but it was in general a more peaceful time and more peaceful place. And then things changed overnight.
Good enough. All right. So what does the famine and what does earthquakes have to do with World War III? Simple. What is World War III really about? Well, let's start right here. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, who's he? This guy, Yahushua. He sat up upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us when shall these things be?" What things? These things. And what shall be the sign of thy coming? When are you coming back? And of the end of the world. That's what that's what these wars are about. The wars are about the end of the world. World War III is about the end of the world as you know it. All right? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation," here we go, "nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. And Jacob's trouble." All of these things have to do with World War III. Why? Because World War III is an ambush. The Most High wants to gather all the nations of the world, their armies, into one place so that you got them all together, then you launch the ambush and take them all down. Joel 3:2. I, who's I? The Lord Yahweh Shemyahushua. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat. Right? And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. What does that mean? It means he's going to destroy them for what they did to his people. Who is he going to destroy? If you go right here to New Living Translation, it says, "I will gather the armies of the world into the strike zone," right, of the ambush, into the valley of Jehovah. A valley is a place surrounded by mountains, the upper ground. Okay? The valley is the strike zone. All right? And you can best believe that these armies in World War III are going to fight back against who? Against I, the Most High. He is Yahweh and his Son. And here it is. Revelation 19 and 19. It's all about a war. World War III is the ambush, the setup. Revelation 19 and 19. And I saw the beast, NATO and the EU, and the kings of the earth, all of them, Vladimir, Volodymyr, Zelensky, all of them, of the earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Who sat on the horse? Yahweh Shai, the one you ignorantly call Jesus. And who are his army? The angels of God. It's all about a war. All right, we'll talk about this later in the week, Lord willing. All right, so that's enough for today. All right. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. With that, we're going to say, you brothers and few sisters of the hopeful elect. And with that, we'll say shalom.